Welcome to our webinar for unemployment in UI eServices for employers. The changes that we've got coming October 2nd. We're really excited about these changes. We've been working for about a year now to do an integrated system. Basically, right now in unemployment insurance, we have two separate systems that kind of communicate with each other, but it creates some inefficiencies and stuff with that. So we've been working for the last year to integrate both our benefits and our claim systems into one integrated system, and we're calling that Muse, and that's what we're going to present here, some changes to eServices. My name is Karina, and I am the Unemployment Insurance Bureau Chief for Contributions, or tax is what a lot of folks refer to us as. And what we're going to kind of cover today is, for most of our employers and third-party administrators, there's not a lot of changes like to our file formats or the rate exchange or any of those kinds of things, but you are going to see a lot of differences to UI services for employers. So we wanted to be able to kind of show you those differences here today, kind of walk through some changes that we are making. Again, if you have some questions along the way, please feel free to put those in the Q&A, and we will answer those if we can. If for some reason we can't, we will most definitely get those answers and get them back out to the community on our frequently asked questions page. So just a few things that we're going to cover here real quickly today, and some of the benefits that you guys are going to see from our redesign of UI services for employers is that it is mobile friendly. It will adapt to any, cell phone, tablet, your PC, what have you. It'll adapt to any of those things and can be used anywhere. We are going to have a single sign-on through Okta. I don't know, a lot of you may already be using Okta. It is the single sign-on software that is being used by the state of Montana for a lot of the services that the state of Montana offers. So think of it as a front door to UI services and a few other services that the state of Montana offers. We're going to go through some new built-in options for responding to separations requests. We've had sides for a lot of years, but we're bringing on some new integrated built-in options that I think you might even like better. But we'll still offer both sides and our internal version. You'll only have to respond to one, but we will have both of them out there for you. We've got some expanded secure web messaging features with claims and benefits being rolled into one system. It'll make it easier for you to respond via secure web messaging, and it won't matter if it's for tax or if it's for claims or what have you. We'll have some options for all of that in our new integrated system. And then there's some changes to how you can manage your UI tax account and some requests that you can submit and new ways to get us information and things like that. In addition to all the same great tools that you've had all along for filing and paying quarterly reports and taxes. So it's just a new, most of it you guys are going to find is just really different on where you find things. It's a new look and feel, but a lot of it's an industry standard kind of system. So it's what you see when you go to a lot of different sites out there. So as a reminder, this is going live October 2nd of 2023. So we will have some downtime from 5 o'clock on September 28th through the end of October 1st, so it'll come back up live on the 2nd. So I don't know if anyone will be planning to file anything on the 29th, but hopefully not, because the systems will be down while we do our integration and our migration and conversion and cutover. So with that, I am going to turn this over to Katie Trenton, who is actually going to walk through a demo. So we don't have a lot of slides. These are the only slides we have. We're going to walk through an actual demo of what the system will look like when you're going out to eServices when this goes live on October 2nd. So Katie is one of our customer service representative, and she's going to take over and show you how it's going to work. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Karina. Yes, my name is Katie Trenton, and I am one of the customer service representatives over here at UI Services for Employers. I am really excited today to be presenting and demoing for you our new website and all of this modernized functionality that we really believe is going to make it a whole lot easier to file those quarterly wage reports and respond to any of the benefit requests for information. So yes, as Karina mentioned, over the past year, we have been hard at work creating and designing and really testing this new integrated tax and benefit system to create a more user-friendly online portal, which it really does not only have a more modern look and feel, but it does function a lot better to alert you when some action is needed on your part. Another change that I'd like to share with you for when we go live in October here is that we will be demoing right at the beginning of the presentation is we are going to utilize that state of Montana's new secure login platform known as Okta. But before we get started on the demo, I would like to introduce our accounting and collections supervisor, April Rose Hislop. She will be manning the chat and the Q&A along with others. So if you have any questions during the presentation, go ahead and put them in there. We will get them addressed. And then for any questions that might need a demo along with it, we will address those at the end of the presentation. So, okay, April, do you want to go ahead and jump in here and introduce yourself?
Good afternoon. I'm April Rose Hislop. I'm the Accounting and Collection Supervisor for the Unemployment Insurance Contributions Bureau. And we're very excited that you came here today to see our demo. So welcome.
Okay, thank you, April. So as you can see on your screen, we do have a little new look to our home screen. It still will have all of the same tools and functions out there. I do want to let you know that we are performing this demo in our testing environment, so it might look slightly different when you come out here in October. Let me just go ahead and make this bigger for you all. There we go. Okay, so if I jump down here to my Employer Tools tab, you can see that we do have our direct link to our Employer Handbook. Down here, we do have our link over to our guides, forms, and more. And we do have several helpful links in here, such as our e-filing handbook. That's always good to refer to for file format specifications. Over here on our UI resources tile, we have our Montana UI homepage link. Down here is the link to report any unemployment insurance fraud. Down here, if you need to access any of our quarterly newsletters, the recent one or any of the previous ones, we do house them out here. And down here at the bottom is a link for that frequently asked questions page. And this is being updated quite frequently with our new system and new e-services being launched. Okay, so before I go ahead and get logged in, I would like to emphasize the importance of every individual that's accessing the account should have their own secure username and password set up. We do strongly discourage the sharing of login information, and this is for security purposes, really to protect you, to protect your employees, and also to protect us as well. You can, however, have as many logons set up under the account as needed for how many employees that you have. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this demo. The first time that you come out here to eServices in October, the initial login process is going to be different than you do going forward in the future. So what we need to do is link an existing Okta account to the web logon that you have historically logged into UI eServices with previously. So to do that, we will click our Sign In with Okta button here. So that's going to bring me to this screen here. I do have my Okta account set up. So if you do, you just need to put your Okta credentials in. If you do not have your Okta account set up, down here at the bottom is going to have a link that says don't have an account, sign up. So you would want to click there. That'll redirect you out to the Okta site where you can quickly set up that Okta account, then come back to eServices to link the two accounts together. But I do have my Okta account set up, so I'm going to go ahead and put my credentials in. And I'll go ahead and click verify. Okay, so now the system does see my Okta account, and now I have to go find my eServices web logon I've always used. So I'm going to go ahead and click yes, I have previously logged in and used eServices. And then I'm going to go over here and click next. Okay, so these are the boxes that we're going to put that eServices login information in. And then I'll go ahead and click next over here. Okay, so this is asking your business role. If you are an owner, officer, partner, or principal of the business, you do want to select the top option. The second option down here is if you're an employee of the business handling the tax matters. The third option is going to be an employee of the business that's authorized to receive and respond to any of those benefit requests for information. And then if you're an employee that is authorized to handle both the tax and benefit matters, you would want to select the fourth option here at the bottom. I am an owner, officer, partner of my business, so I'm going to go ahead and click this one, and then I'll click next. Okay, so here is the information associated with your eServices web logon. We need to confirm this information here. If it is incorrect, once we get logged in, I will be showing you where to go inside the system to update this information. So I'm going to go over here and click submit. Okay, so now we have successfully linked our Okta account to our existing eServices web logon. We do give you a confirmation page for that. We give you the option to print this confirmation if you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and just log in now. Okay, so now you can see that we are in the account, and it definitely has that new modern look to it. And but before we dive into filing reports or making payments, I want to show you going forward that this linking process is only the one time. So I'm going to go ahead up here to my little profile. I'm going to log out and log back in for you. And yes. And then I'm going to go ahead and click here to refresh the system. Okay, so now we are back at the home screen. So after you link your Okta account to the eServices web logon, going forward in the future, you can always come to our regular website at uieservices.mt.gov. You'll click the Sign In with Okta button.
There was a couple of questions in the chat. I'll go ahead and answer. And we are, as she said earlier, we are using our test system. So unfortunately, as you guys probably know, sometimes the tests works a little bit different than production. So in theory, we'll be able to access this without as much trouble as she's having right now. But Okta, someone had asked, and yes, in the past we did use ePass earlier on, and this is kind of similar to that in that it is going to be the front door. And as far as I don't have with me exactly which all state agencies are using Okta now, but I know that slowly but surely most of your state agencies are switching over to Okta. ePass came down a couple years ago now. I think it was just before the pandemic is when we switched, and then they're moving over to Okta. So I don't know all of the state agencies, but the plan is, we're moving towards that goal of a single sign-on for all state of Montana services, just to make things easy for you. It looks like someone says when they log into Okta, UIE isn't available to me, and it won't be until October. Once we get till October 2nd, then it would be available when you log in.
Okay, great. Thank you, Karina. So on a positive note, you got to see those screens of linking your Okta account to your eServices a couple of times there. I will have to let you know that going forward, no longer at eServices can we assist with any password resets. So you will have to visit Okta, so that's okta.mt.gov/help. And if you're still having trouble, then you can contact the State Information Technology Services Division at 406-444-2000. We will be providing all of this contact information that we give throughout the presentation on a PowerPoint slide at the end of the show. Okay, so again, if you have any questions regarding linking to Okta, to your eServices web logon, please do put them in the chat and we will get them addressed. All right, so before we get started here, I did want to point out some of the help tools and resources that we have when we get logged into our account now. So if I scroll down to the bottom of my screen, down here at the bottom, we have our direct link over to the Department of Labor and Industry page. Here is our internal link to that frequently asked questions. Here's our contact us link. So this is going to give you our mailing address, our email, and our phone number if you need to contact us over here at the Contributions Bureau. And here we do still have the functionality of the request the support ID. For those of you who have not used the support ID function in eServices before, what that is a 6-digit code that you would generate. You would then give us a call at 406-444-3834, and you would give that code to one of our agents so we can put it into our side of the system. Then we can jump in there live and see your screen and just troubleshoot whatever problems that you're having. You can request that support ID down here at the bottom, or if I scroll up to the top, you can see we have our little question mark help here, where you can also get your support ID. Okay, so I wanted to first go over when you first log in, you'll be on your summary tab up here. This is one of the features that we're very excited about to really alert you to when some action is needed on your account. Anything that needs an action from you is going to pop up at the very top of your screen here, and it's going to be highlighted in these red tones. You can see here that I need to file my second quarter 2023 quarterly wage report. And I also have a request for information down here that needs to be responded to. If I scroll down here just a little bit, these two tiles, your account tile and employer information tile, will always be on your summary tab. Your account tile is where you're going to find all the account information. If you have a credit balance, it's going to show right here, and the tile will be highlighted in green. If there is a balance owing on your account, that amount will also populate right here, but your account tile is going to turn red because that action is needed from you. Down here on the employer information tile, this is where you're going to find all the benefit related information, and we do post the current tax rate for the year right here for your convenience as well. So if I scroll up to the top here, the other function that we have to really alert you to when action is needed is our Action Center. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, but it has this really nice red circle here that tells you how many actions are needed. So inside my Action Center, you can see that I have some messages that I need to view. I have some letters that I also need to view. And if I jump down here to the UI tax tile, here is that report that needs to be filed for second quarter 2023, as well as that request for information down here. Okay, so I think we can go ahead and showcase filing a report now. Now I will let you know this is new as well. Our new eServices has several different links that will take you into filing the report that you need to file. So that second quarter 2023 from the Action Center, I could click File a Report right here. If I go over back to my Summary tab, I could also click this File Now link on this tile for filing this report. What I'm going to do is scroll down here to show you another screen on my Account tile. We have Managed Reports. This is going to bring up a very familiar screen from our former eServices. This is where we list out all of the reports that we have posted to your account. You can view or print them if necessary using this link here, or if you need to make changes, you can amend the report with this link as well. Then what I'm doing today, though, is I'm going to go ahead and file my second quarter 2023 report. And so I'll click this File Now link. So all of these links that I just showed you to file the report are going to bring you to this screen here. So it's going to ask you, did you pay wages between the dates of the quarter? If the answer is no, then you feel and you need to file a no wage report, you simply click no, and then you'll click next over here on the right-hand side. Today I do have a report with wages, so I'm going to go ahead and click yes. So that is going to bring you to another familiar screen where we need to collect that employee count information and also the employee wage detail information. Okay. Okay, I just got a message. It sounds like we had something posted in the Q&A. So before I file this report, can I check to make sure everybody can see everything on my screen here? If you're having trouble, could you please put that in the Q&A? Okay, so it sounds like we are good to go. All right, so again, this screen here is going to look very familiar. So what we need is our employee count. up here, so the number of covered workers for the 3 months of the quarter, and then the employee wage detail here with the social security number, last name, first name, and those gross wages. We do still have our 3 ways to import this information. You can data enter the information, and we can also use our load previous SSNs tool, or we also have the import my file function as well. So I'll go through all 3 of those. If you need to data enter, you simply just go ahead and click in here, and we're going to enter in this information. And then I'll click down here to the employee wage detail. And the gross wages, of course, as well. Okay, so if you have multiple employees that you're data entering in, you simply want to click to the next blank row, enter that person in, and a new blank row is going to populate down here below for you to enter in as many as you need. You can see that as you enter in those gross wages, our system is going to calculate the tax due for each one that you enter in and have the total down here at the bottom. Okay, so our other option to get this information in here is our load previous SSNs, and that's on our report tool tile right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click load previous SSNs. That is going to bring in what we got last quarter, just for the SSN, the last name, and the first name. You would need to update your employee count information up here and enter in your gross wages right over here. If you need to remove an employee off of this report, if they're no longer there, did not earn wages during the quarter, you simply have to click this little red, or not red, excuse me, this little X over here on the left-hand side of the social security number. It's going to ask you if you want to remove the whole row, and I'm going to go ahead and say yes. So that takes that individual off of the report. Okay, so the third option to get your report information is to import my file. That is up here on our report tools up here. That is if you have a properly formatted Excel or CSV file. All of those specifications are going to be in our Montana e-filing handbook. We do provide the direct link to that handbook right here on the report tools tile. You can always access it from the home screen under that guides, forms, and more as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click import my file. This choose file button is going to allow me to browse my computer and find my file that I need. And then I simply select the one I need, click open, and it loads it in there, and then I'll click OK. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, my file was formatted correctly. It did pull in the employee count data. It pulled in all the social security numbers, last name, first name, and the gross wages as well. Okay, so if I scroll a little bit to the bottom here, I do want to make you aware, if you do get interrupted while putting your report together, or you need to step away from your computer for a little bit, we do have a timeout period after 20 minutes of inactivity. So you would want to use our Save Draft button down here to save the work that you've done. You can always come back, open it up for editing, and finish whatever work you need to do. Okay, so it does look like my report is ready to file. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. So that's going to bring me to my confirm submission page. Before I actually submit my report, I did want to show you a new function that we have out here in our new eServices, and this is our crumb trail up here. So these are active links. If I get to this page and I realize that I forgot to add an individual to my report, I can click this back here. It'll take me back one screen, and then I could add that individual into my report, and then I can click next. So this is a nice new feature that we have in our new eServices. But everything does look correct for me, so I'm going to go ahead and I will submit now. So that is going to bring you to another familiar screen that you see as our confirmation page. We do provide the date and time that you submitted your report and the confirmation number associated with submitting the report. Down here, we still have our great table that's going to show the tax due for the quarter, any penalty and interest that was assessed if the report is late. It will also show the credit that was on the account and use that credit up to pay a portion of the tax to give the expected quarter balance right here. If I scroll down more here, down at the bottom, we have these options here. If you want to make an electronic payment, you would use the Make Payment button. If you prefer to print a paper check, and we do ask that you print this voucher to go mail it in with it so that we can get it posted to the correct account and quarter. Down here, we have the Print Submitted Report option. So this will print out the report that you submitted on a UI5. And just as a reminder, you don't have to mail that in. You did submit the information required electronically, so that copy is for your records. If you would like a copy of this nice breakdown of the table and your confirmation number, you can print this confirmation page as well. And this return button at the bottom will just take you back to the account without performing any of these functions up here. Today, I am going to go ahead and make my payment electronically. So I'm going to do Make a Payment. So this is something that we're also excited about. We now have our credit card option programmed back into eServices. You no longer have to give us a call to give us that credit card information over the phone. I will be previewing this here momentarily, but I'm going to make an ACH debit payment from my banking account first here. So I'll go ahead and click Next. Then I'm going to pick my bank account, and I'll go ahead and click Next. So here is our payment screen. So it brings in the amount that's due on the account. So I have to confirm that amount. And then down here, we just ask for your banking account information. So I need to get a routing number. So because this is our testing system, I can just populate a routing number. You would want to put in your routing number. And then you would put in an account number and then confirm your account number. And then is this a checking or savings account? So down here at the bottom, we do have this option to save your banking account information for future use as a default payment source if you'd like. So I am going to go ahead and do that. That makes it so I don't have to type it every time I come out here to make a payment. And then I'll go ahead and click Next. Okay, so that brings me again to my confirm submission page. And here's that crumb trail. If you need to back up and make any corrections, you can use that. And I'm going to go ahead and click Submit. Okay, so here's another familiar screen as our confirmation for our payments. Again, the date and time that you submitted it, your confirmation number, and then your payment details down here. Just as a reminder, we do pick up our payment jobs at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. So any payments submitted after 2 p.m. will not get posted to the account until an extra business day. We do give you the option to print this confirmation here at the bottom. I'm just going to go ahead and return to my account now. I will let you know you can print that confirmation for your records, but we will also be sending out emails to the email on file with that confirmation page as well. Okay, so I did want to preview the credit card screens for you. So let me back out of Managed Reports to our Summary tab. And I'm going to use this Make a Payment link here to get back to my payment screen. And I'll go ahead and click Next. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and click the credit card option, and I'll click Next. Okay, so here is our credit card screen. I will let you know, because we use a third-party vendor, there is a processing fee associated with this. There is a flat fee, and then there is a percentage-based fee depending on the amount of tax that's due. So as you can see here, the estimated processing fee is going to be $1.22. And if I put an amount in here, I'm going to make a $100 payment today. You can see that now my estimated processing fee jumped up a little bit, bringing my total to $103.97. If you want to avoid paying this fee, our ACH debit has no additional fee with it, so you could go ahead and make those bank account information payments. So when you're ready to make your credit card payment, you would click this next button. That's going to redirect you out to our third-party vendor to enter in that credit card information and submit that payment. The third-party vendor site will also be sending emails with receipts for your payments as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of here. All right, so if you need to access the history of the payments that have been made on the account, that's going to be on your account tile here on your summary tab. And you would want to click the View All Account Services link down here. And as you can see, we have a payments tile here, and it's managed payments. We'll show you all of the payments that we have received for the account. You can see down here that these ones all have been posted to the account. And here's the one that I just made. So it's going to show pending until an overnight process goes to get it posted to the account. Up here, you can see we have not filed our report or made a payment yet for third quarter 2023. And so there's a make a payment link here as well. Okay, so the other function that I wanted to show you that I know a lot of you probably use is our bulk services. So let me back out to that summary tab again. So if you have those FSET or ISESA files that need to get uploaded here to eServices, our bulk services are going to be housed under our More tab up here. If I scroll down a little bit, you can see we have a bulk services tile right here, and you would want to click the File a Bulk Report link right here. Okay, so this again is going to look similar to our former eServices. To upload those FSET and ISESA files, you want to make sure that those specifications, the file formats are correct. And for your convenience, again, we do provide the direct link over to the Montana e-filing handbook directly on this screen. But to add the attachment with that file, I'm going to go ahead and click my Add Attachment button right here. That's going to bring open this box here where you need to select the type. So is it an FSET file or is it an ISESA file? We do require a description. And then I'm going to do my choose file to browse my computer to find that file I need to upload. Okay, so I go ahead and click OK. Okay, so I did not get any error messages. So you can see that my file was formatted correctly. If you accidentally selected an incorrect file, we do have the remove link. You can take it off, click Add Attachment again, and then it will allow you to browse your computer to find the correct file. I'm going to go ahead and submit this now. Okay, so that does bring you to this confirmation page. Again, the date and time is up here, and now here's your confirmation number for your bulk filing report right here. You can print this confirmation if you'd like, or I'm going to go ahead and click Return to my account. Just as a reminder, using the bulk services, those do take an overnight process to get posted to the account, and you can come out here and make the payment the following day. Okay, so next on the agenda that I'd like to show you is amending in a report. So I'm going to go back to my summary tab. And again, that was down here on the accounts tile under manage reports. Okay, so if I needed to make a correction to my first quarter 2023 report, you can see that over here under the quarters. I would click this view or amend report link right here. Okay, so you can see this brings us into what was previously submitted. If I need to make a change, I would click the amend report link in the upper right-hand corner here. Okay, there we go. So that is going to bring us here. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you in this drop-down box to pick a reason for the change. Today, I am updating my employee count. Down here in the details, we do ask a more detailed description in your own words as to why you're making that change. Oops, caps lock. Okay, now that I have that in there, I'm going to go ahead and click next. So if you're amending from a wage report to a no wage report, you would click no. And the system is going to tell you that wages were already on this report. So to turn it into a no wage report, you would need to click clear entered data. But I am only changing the employee counts today. Those wages should be on there. So I'm going to go ahead and click yes. And then I'll click next. Okay, so that does open it up for editing. And if I need to go ahead, and I forgot to document one of my employees here, so I just make my correction and scroll back to the bottom, and then I'll go ahead and click next. We do have the save draft button on here if you're making several corrections and think you're going to step away for an extended period of time. Do make sure you save your draft. But I'm ready to go ahead and amend, so I'll click next. And here's my confirm submission screen again. So now I'm going to submit. Okay, so then you do get the confirmation page again. I did not make any changes to the wages, so you can see that my table up here is zeroed out because we already made the payment for the tax that was due for this quarter. If there was a change in the tax due, we have those options down here to make a payment. And then you can print the amended report or this confirmation page down here as well. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to return to my account. So this is telling you on this screen here that this amendment is pending. It does take a review by one of our tax technicians, so it may take a day or two to get posted back to the account. I am going to go ahead and click back to my reports. So that'll take me back to managed reports. Okay, so after you have submitted reports and payments or done any work out here at UI eServices, if you need to view the submissions that you've done, let me show you where to go to do that. So I'm going to back out again to our main screen. That is going to be housed on our More tab right here. You can see we have a submissions tile, and so I would click Search Submissions. Okay, so now you can see all the work that we've done today. Here is that second quarter 2023 report that I filed with the Import My File. Here's the tax payment that I made, my ACH debit payment associated with that report. Here's my bulk report filing request that we submitted. And then here's the amended report that we just completed as well. You can see that all of these are on the pending tab right here. After those overnight processes, they will jump over to the process tab right here. Okay, so just as a reminder, if you have any questions about filing a report, making a payment, amending, or viewing those submissions, please do put them in that Q&A and we'll get them answered for you. Okay, so now I would like to shift gears and talk about those benefit requests for information. As Karina stated, we do now have two separate ways for you to respond. We have an internal way that we call internal fact finding. So that allows you to respond to those without navigating out to the Sides portal. If you prefer to respond to those using Sides, we do have that option available as well too. One other change is that we will no longer have one Sides contact per exchange to receive those email notifications when a response is required. It is going to be anyone who's handling the benefit matters to the account that will get that notification to come out here to eServices and respond. So first, I would like to go over our new internal fact finding. So again, on our summary tab, you can see it right here. It's highlighted in red. We need some action on our part to respond to these. If I want to go ahead and click into respond to this information request, you can see that it's asking essentially that same information for a separation for the reason for separation of this employee. Once these are submitted, they're going to show up on that submissions tab that I just showed you, or submissions tile, excuse me, underneath that More tab that I just previewed for you. So what's available out here for the internal fact finding, essentially it's going to be the same thing as Sides. So the separation request with the monetary and potential charging that come with them, the earnings verification, the decisions and determination, and the additional fact finding. So yeah, it's very similar to the Sides, but you don't have to go out to Sides to actually respond. But again, if you do prefer to go out to sides and respond, let me show you where to access that. So that from our summary tab, we would need to click on the accounts tile, the view all account services. And down here on our employer information tile is our view sides request. So if I click that, again, that's going to be a very familiar screen from our sides request tab. In our former eServices, we have our exchange listed out here. You have the claimant's name, the request date that it was sent to you, the respond by date, so the due date here. And then if you already responded, that would populate here in this column. And then to get out to the sides portal, you simply click the respond link. That's going to redirect you to that switchboard so you can provide the responses as you have in the past. Again, as Karina did mention, but I want to reiterate, you do not have to respond to both the internal fact finding and the sides. This internal fact finding was created to just make it easier for you to provide those responses without having to navigate out to another website. Okay, so something that we have not covered that I wanted to make sure to show you was when we linked our Okta account to our eServices web logon, there was that contact information for your profile. So if that is out of date and you need to get that updated, from that first screen when you log in on the summary tab, you'll have my manage my profile link up in the upper right hand corner here. So that brings me into my profile. So if I needed to update any of this information, I simply click the link to change my email. I would make the correction and then I would click OK. It is essential to keep this email especially updated with us. This is going to be how we communicate with you on several different fronts. So any of those payment receipts that we're emailing out, or if you're signed up to receive email notifications from our system to file the quarterly wage reports, or any of those benefit requests for information. And also something exciting that I'll go over here shortly is our new Go Green option for receiving no more letters in the mail. So it is essential to keep this email address updated. Okay, so now I would like to demo for you some of the other features that we have out here. The first one I'd like to go over, I'm going to back out, is on our account tile using the view all account services link here. Okay, so I do want to make you aware that as an owner, officer, or partner, you will have all these links available that we are previewing today. But if you are only handling the tax matters or the benefits matters, some of these links may not show when you log in. So something that I'm sure you guys view at least once a year when we run those rates in December is your current rate assigned for UI. That can be done here on our employer information tile with our view rates link. So that's going to bring up this familiar screen as well, where we're going to list out the historic rates on the account. Your current rate is always going to be the one on the top here. And if you need to view that breakdown, we have our view rate components link just to the right here. You can see that that breaks it down for the AFT portion and then the contribution portion here as well. Okay, so if I go back to my employer account services, over here on our financial services tile, if you wanted to see if we could waive some late file penalty or interest off the account, you can put a request abatement in using this function here. And if you have a credit on the account and would like to request that refund be processed, we have this link down here as well. You can do that. Okay, if I jump over to our account maintenance tile, if you no longer need your UI account, if your business has closed or if you're a sole proprietor that no longer has W-2 employees, we have that function here in eServices. You can put the request in to get your account inactivated here. Okay, so I'm going to jump back out of here and go over to our More tab. There's some other functions in here I wanted to discuss. The names and addresses tile. So we do like to have updated information on your account, and you can do that here under the manage name and addresses. If a change has happened to the responsible parties, we do have that option down here to update the responsible parties as well. Okay, if I go back over here to my correspondence tile, something that I think is very helpful is those email reminders from our system to come out and file since we are only on a quarterly basis, I think those are very helpful to receive that email reminder. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click in here. And to get set up, you simply click yes, you want to receive those email reminders. Then our system is going to ask you, do you want that reminder sent on the 10th or the 25th of the month that the report is due? So you can pick your preference there, and then you can just submit that request. We do give you a confirmation page for getting set up for email reminders, but I'm going to go ahead and just return to my account now. Okay, moving up on the correspondence tile here, we have view and send messages. So these are web messages that talk directly between eServices and our side of the database. They are a secure way to communicate with us if you have to attach any sensitive material. This is the most secure way to do that. I'm going to go ahead and click in here to your messages screen. You can see that you have an inbox here. Here's your outbox for any of the ones that you have submitted. We do have the option to archive them, or if you send and receive a lot of web messages, we have a search function, so you can filter it down and find the one that you need to refer back to. But today I'm going to go ahead and send a message. So now we're going to ask you, is your question, is it you benefit claims related, or is this a UI tax account question? I'm going to go ahead and do a tax account question. And now it's going to ask you to select your message type. So what this does, by picking the correct message type, it gets it over to the expert in answering that question for you. Today, I'm going to do a payment question. We do require something in the subject line here. And then in the body of the message here, that's where you want to go ahead and type whatever question that you have. Okay, so if I scroll down here, we do have an attachments bar down here. So if you think it's beneficial to upload some sort of document that would help us answer your question up here in your web message, you can use this add link on the right-hand side. It will allow you to browse your computer, find whatever documentation you want to add, and then you can submit your web message from there. But I don't have any attachments today, so I'm going to go ahead and just click submit. Okay, here's our confirmation that our message has been sent. So if I go ahead and click back to messages and over to my inbox, or excuse me, my outbox, you can see here is the payment or the payment question web message that I just sent. Okay, so I'm going to back out here on our correspondence tile. Again, at the very top, we have our view letters link. So every letter that we do print and mail to you, we publish out here in eServices if you need to view or print them from here. And this leads me to our exciting new option in our new eServices is that Go Green that I mentioned earlier. So to get set up for Go Green, that's going to be on our settings tab right here. And what the Go Green option is, it will take you out of receiving paper letter in the mail and then give you an email notification to come out here to eServices and view those letters electronically. So if I wanted to switch, you can see down here on the employer tile, my mail delivery preference is set at paper. So if I wanted to opt in for the Go Green, I go ahead and click paper. I'm going to switch that to electronic, and then I'm just going to go ahead and save. I do want to let you know that occasionally there may be a piece of paper mailed to you and you would want to respond to those accordingly. But now opting into the Go Green, the majority of the mail that we send will come over to you with that email notification to log into eServices to view or print those letters. So, all right, that concludes the demo that we have put together for you today. April, was there any questions in the Q&A that I could do an extra demo for?
I currently don't see any. I think we've been able to answer most of them through the chat. So unless Karina, did you see any, or John, that you felt would do well with a demo or being verbally answered today?
No, I think that we do have them answered. I did see a lot of questions regarding the Okta, and can you use the same one that you have set up for another agency or for somewhere else? And the beauty of that answer is yes, you can. So if you already use Okta for whether it's another state services or something else, you can use that. That's part of it. It's just supposed to be the front door to a lot of state of Montana services. So I like I said earlier, I don't know. I don't have a list of all the state agencies that already have Okta on the front of their system, but there are quite a few, and there's more coming up all the time. So the goal is to hopefully get you to where you really only have to have that one sign-in to get you into state services. So and you can have more than one UI account connected. We will show more of that. We're going to do on Thursday, do more demos for third-party administrators or those that have multiple clients, and we will show some examples of someone that has, I know some of you may have anywhere from, 5 to 500 different clients attached to your logon in eServices today, and all of that is still available, and you can still do that. Um, um, through eServices, just as it's similar to how you do it today. There are a few differences in how you get clients attached, but all of that same is still available. So I see a question that just popped up about having trouble getting into Okta. And I think we're going to show a slide here in a moment to give you the phone number. I'm sorry, I don't know it off the top of my head. I know their website is okta.mt.gov, but I don't have their phone number off the top of my head. But we'll get that for you here in just a moment. The question about only one primary email account is allowed per account. No, that is, and April, please jump in if I get this incorrect. But for each user, you would you would include your own email address, and then that user, it kind of depends upon if on that first step where you're indicating whether or not you're going to be doing tax work or benefit work or both, or if you're an owner or an officer, that kind of sets up what level of work that you're going to be doing in the system. So let's say if you are just someone's going to be working on tax, then you would get tax related emails. If you're someone's going to be doing benefits, you would be getting benefit related emails. If you are doing both, you would get emails for both, but it is based upon um, how you set up your sign on in your eServices profile. So it is important. I think that Katie mentioned that you make sure that those email addresses are up to date, and those will go to the individual users.
And that's correct, Karina. As long as, so anyone with benefit access, as long as you have your own weblog on, if you are set up for benefit access, you'll receive those benefit emails. But it is per the weblog on that you'll receive those emails sent out to you. And so that's another reason why it is important to be able to have those in, besides security, to have those individual web logons set up for each of the users that are going to be out there.
Okay, if we don't have any more questions, it looks like we still got a couple in there. April, I can't answer this one. Is she brought through A-Tracks? They still able to do that? I believe so, but can you confirm that that's the correct answer?
I'm sorry, I did not see that question. What was that again? I'm sorry.
I file this report through A-Trex. Am I still able to do that? We haven't changed any of our filing instructions, so it is really just the look and feel of eServices and how you get in there is the biggest change. So I would assume that that is a correct answer, correct, that you'd still be able to do that.
I believe so too. I'm not familiar with Atrix, but if it is a software that you're just filing your quarterly reports through and they're sending that information to us, because I know that we do deal with a lot of those companies that do that, all of that information is going to remain the same, and the formats and everything about the way that they're filing those will continue to be the same. So yes, you'll still be able to do that just perfectly fine the way you have in the past. And there's a couple in here. It'll just probably be easier for me to answer out loud. I'm sorry, I'm just not typing as fast. There's a question, new hire reporting for the state is done through Okta. And I believe that it probably is. I know that it is our governor's initiative to try to get all of the state agencies on this new platform so that it just makes it easier for employers so that they only have to log into one system to be connected to all of the state websites that they do need to use for doing, you know, their business. And so I think that there's probably quite a few now that are connected through Okta. And it's, you know, there to try to help ease having, you know, 47 different logons to be able to get into each service that you need. A couple of these, I think Karina did answer. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through there so that I hope I don't miss anything. There was the question, did you need to sign into Okta now or wait until the second? You can actually sign up for Okta at any time because it is active and out there. Just the new eServices logon piece is not going to be able to get connected to that Okta account until October 2nd. So you can set up your Okta today if you want to. You'll just be able to connect it to UI eServices on the 2nd.
It'll actually be easier to set up your eServices access if you set it up today, but you
Yeah,
don't have
it will
to, but
be.
you sure can. So.
Yeah. And then there's a question, do you know what the ETA for having everything connected through Okta? I don't know, Montana, if that is for all state agencies to be connected through Okta or if it is just UI eServices. If it's UI eServices, of course, going forward from October on, we will be connected. As far as the governor's initiative, I don't know if he has a specific deadline on when they want to have all of the state of Montana agencies connected to Okta, but I do know that it is something that they are working towards. So I know because we're kind of doing an upgrade currently. That is why we're connecting with Okta. So it could be as agencies are updating some of their websites or they may be moving to that platform before that. Because I know even with our benefit system, even though, you know, we weren't in this new process or this new system, they had already moved over to Okta. So I unfortunately do not know what their ETA is for all agencies, but I know that is what they're working towards. Just seeing here if I've missed anything.
Yeah, we will have these Q&A as part of the recording, and we'll add some of them to our frequently asked questions. So just grabbing that last one on there, we will definitely have these added to our FAQ and with the presentation as well. So with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up. If you do think of any other questions after we end the webinar, please feel free to email the UIE services at mt.gov, and we will do our best to answer questions as quickly as we can.